Y'all doing? I pray that your afternoon is it's just starting, right? It's just starting. It's going great. I am here with another 9 tips. And this topic is stop making the same mistake. So we have 9 tips to talk about on stop making the same mistakes. Stop making the same mistakes, y'all. That has to be like a consistent thing, because when we continue making the same mistakes over and over again, right, you begin to go around in circles. It's just like a test. It's just like a test, right? So if you don't pass the test the first time, right, you got to repeat the test. That's just the same thing too. You're sitting up there making the same mistakes. So let's get in, let's dive right on in with the 9 tips about stop making the same mistakes. There is nothing wrong with making mistakes now, right? After all, making mistakes is one of the key ways we learn, grow, and build all sorts of important qualities like persistence and resilience. Mistakes become a problem when we keep repeating the same ones. When we continually repeat the same mistake, we aren't learning anything from it. Worse yet, repeating the same mistake stalls any positive progress we may be making in life. If this sounds familiar, right, and you are ready to stop making the same mistakes, consider these 9 tips. And I'm just telling you, these are just 9 tips. So there is more tips that you can add on in here. So we're going to give you the first 9. But then it's going to be up to you, right, to complete and finish the work and the research and the study for you to stop making the same mistakes and be able to learn from your mistakes. Because then once you learn from your mistakes, right, you know, okay, what not to do. And then also, too, is while you're learning from it, right, you begin to get the lesson, you get the experience, then you can be able to teach people the same teach other people the same experiences, right? Teach other people like the same ways that you was able to stop making it and stop doing the repeat. So that way too is that can help them in some things that they're constantly repeating in their lives too as well. Number 1, identify the mistakes you repeat. You can't take action on your mistakes until you identify and acknowledge them. Strive to be more aware of your present moment. If you make a mistake, ask yourself if this is something you keep doing. Once you have an idea of the mistakes you keep making, you can correct them. Number 2, why does this keep happening? Once you have singled out a mistake or more that you keep repeating, ask yourself why this keep happening. Get into the root cause of why you are repeatedly making the same mistake is important because it allows you to address the underlying problem. How many know that there's always a root cause to everything? There's always a root cause to everything that happens that you go through in life. And you must begin to identify that root, address that root, pull up the roots, and then remove everything else that's attached to the root. So that way you can begin to have have the intended result that you need to have. Number 3, how do my mistakes harm me? A great way to avoid making the same mistakes again is to carefully consider how they are harming you. When you identify your mistakes negative impact, you will naturally feel more motivated to stop it. Number 4, learn a lesson from your mistakes. A mistake isn't a problem if it A mistake isn't a problem if it teaches you a lesson. Make sure that you take a lesson from each mistake you make. When it comes to recurring mistakes, the lesson should be identifying ways to avoid making a mistake again. Number 5, make a plan. If you are struggling to avoid certain mistakes, make a plan of action. Make a plan of attack. Take the time to write down steps you can take to address the mistake. This simple act not only gives you a plan to take action on, but it also helps your subconscious recognize the mistake, hopefully before it happens again. Number 6, change your habits. If you keep doing the same things, you're going to keep making the same mistakes. It might be time for you to switch things up a bit. Mm, 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 mm. By building positive habits or avoiding negative ones, you change the way you do things. Ideally, this means you get different results, which may be enough to avoid certain recurrent mistakes. Number 7, address your weaknesses. Once you have identified your recurring mistakes, check to see if they are a cause and part of any weaknesses you have. If so, consider taking the steps needed to address those weaknesses. If you can't address a weakness on your own, consider asking a close friend for help. Number 8, apologies must mean something. If you repeatedly make the type of mistakes you have to apologize for, remember that an apology has to mean something. Take time to consider how you may have harmed someone else. And when you apologize, do it thoughtfully and sincerely. When you recognize the severity of your mistakes, it's easier to avoid them. Number 9, surround yourself with honest people. A great way to break the cycle of repeated mistakes is to have friends that aren't scared to tell you how it is. When you have loved ones that feel comfortable calling you out, it helps you avoid making the same mistakes repeatedly. This will tell you the things that you might not want to admit to yourself. So, what y'all think about that? These are just 9 tips now that we have just came to you to help you get started. If you feel like that, like, Lord, I need to stop doing the same things over and over again and not getting achieving the intended result that you want. Especially if you're not learning from your mistakes and you constantly continue to keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep going around in circles and circles and circles until you get it right. So I just pray that these tips right here, these 9 tips, will help you to get started on stop making the same mistakes. So y'all have a great day. Be blessed on purpose. And I just pray that you apply these tips, right? Because not only we can give it to you, but your point of action will be you have to apply it. You have to begin to work it out. You got to work it out, y'all. Got to work it out, right? So we desire everyone to be healthy in every areas of their lives, and it's going to take some work on your part. It's going to take some investment and some time. It's going to take some prayer, some devotion. It's going to take some fasting. It's going to take a lot of things, right? So, but you have to be willing to do the work. If you don't do the work, it's just not going to like poof and come right out of the air. It's not. So you're going to have to do something on it. You're going to have to do something. Be blessed on purpose. Talk to you next time.